Alright, new one's officially back in place. All plugged in, routed right down through the same original snaps. It's from where we installed the Burger Motorsports dual cone intake. Old and trash. So that comes down through here. This little opening catches this clip here. Lines up absolutely perfect. Does a little nice little curve. Catches another loop right there. Now we're gonna go ahead and install our new rubber seals, our bolts, brake pads, get them all lined up right where they need to be, and we'll cut you back on once it's in place. Alright, so here we go. Z4 2011 350i. That's not correct at all. It's a Z4 35i. I replaced the rear brakes last night. Thought I was in here for, you know, a quick 30-minute job, maybe an hour. Took closer to 2.5 hours. Mostly because of the wear sensor. Proved to be quite a bit more difficult than I was thinking. I'll take off the rear wheel and walk you through that process. Getting ready to start on the fronts though. We've got new powerstop brand rotors, pads, new boots, and a new wear sensor. This one luckily doesn't look 3.5 feet long like the rear. Got some brake cleaner, some anti-seize. Whoa, some anti-seize with the lid not all the way on. Apparently I was exhausted and didn't do that last night. And then new pads. New pads, they're the Extreme Z26 style from powerstop there. I have these on the Ram. I've heard, you know, mixed reviews, whatever, but I have them on my Ram. And I'll tell you what, it made a heck of a difference. That thing stops when I want to stop, and it's 6,000 pounds. So, with oversized wheels and tires. So, I'm a fan. I like them. They work. And we're going to get this done. Alright, we got the wheel off. There's a set pin right here, set screw, to hold the actual rotor lid on. It is a 6mm. Oh, amazing, incredible. Front wheels obviously have very little resistance on them. Boom. We're going to, once that set screws off and I get this rotor and bracket off, we'll be able to remove the rotor itself, slide a new one on, and I'll put anti-seize around this barrel here. But we're going to be removing, this is the side with the wear sensor. And it looks like it goes underneath the hood there. It's going to be this wire right here. Goes up under the hood. So we'll pop the hood and see how difficult that's going to be to get to. Alright, well, after following that, up through here, comes in underneath the strut tower brace. And it looks like it actually plugs in. It might be a little bit hard to see. But it's going to be directly underneath so as long as I can get a finger on it, we can get it off. So I may have to remove air filters to get better access, but I feel like that will not be anything compared to the rear. So we'll keep moving forward. I might actually turn the wheel hard to the right to gain better access to the back of the caliper. We'll take a closer look here in just a moment. Alright, if you're not familiar with BMW, which I'm not, this is my my introduction to turning my own wrenches on the BMW, especially like with specifically the brakes in regards to. So on the rear here they have large, long rubber boots, and those rubber boots have a cap on them, like so. Inside of those rubber boots, though, if you take off the cap, like so, you're gonna find a 7mm inside there. So we'll remove the two 7mm. The new powerstop kit came with new rubber boots, new rubber seals. Those plastic caps came with the whole kit hardware assembly. So we got all new ones. I cut that one open to do some exploratory, and yeah, perfect. So we're going to take those two off, remove the caliper mount, and work backwards from there. Now you want to make sure that the ribs, the vents, are angled towards the back of the vehicle, so it allows, you know, the heat and the gases to escape through the back. Now they're actually labeled. PowerStop labels them, but if you don't have labels for whatever reason, like I said, you just want to make sure that the vents on your new rotors are pointed towards the rear of the vehicle. You know, if they're pointed the other direction, they don't work properly. Yes, exactly. These also work as a pretty good wear indicator. The vents, when these go, it's time to replace your rotors. You know, you can have them resurfaced maybe once or twice, but it's just good practice. It's cheap too, so why not, right? Alright, we're gonna put our caliper bracket back on. That goes on the rear here via 2 bolts. They're 18mm. These two are here, 1 and 2. Yep, 1, 2. Okay, actually it looks like that's just pressure fit in too. So it looks like I might be able to remove that whole bracket. If you look at these two little prongs right there and right there, looks like I might be able to move that down. And might have enough play on it to where I can actually get to a good working position on it. Man, BMW did not make anything easy. Gotta love engineers. Gotta love engineers. So let me see if I can take that off and get better access to it. Again, that little black tree, and the other one over on the other side. And voila, by pulling those out and pulling the other two prongs, the other two plugs, the black one, the white one, and the blue one now, I was actually able to get this up to a really reasonable position. So the white one is actually the one for the brake wear sensor on the front driver's side of the vehicle. So now we will release that the same way we were trying to do it, by sliding that over and pushing it down. Butter. Okay, we'll pull that out of here now. We obviously don't want that laying down in there in our engine compartment. And I'd like to just compare the length, the fittings to the new one. Everything seems to match up pretty well. So, as you can see the actual wear indicators, though, the fronts weren't worn. As a matter of fact, the backs weren't really worn too bad either. But what had happened is the wear sensor broke. Could have been my driving. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and chalk that up as highly likely. So, we'll blame my driving and my stopping pattern. So, yeah. I'm kidding me right now. That's new. That hasn't actually happened to me before yet. So I need to stop the rotor from spinning. Looks like I can do that, alright. And that's problem solving on the go. Guess I actually need that neck. Sorry, I didn't realize you were looking at the side of the fender there. If you're even looking at anything. Again, it's these two. Dust cover there, dust cover there. Removing the 7mm Allen head to remove the caliper, the brakes, brake pads, and then I'll be moving the caliper holder bracket and then the rotor itself. Now I've heard that there's a M swap where the factory M brakes from 135i will actually bolt right onto these hubs. They're hub centric or whatever, but you'll need the rotors, the caliper bracket, and the factory 4-piston calipers. I was reading that on the Z forums. It seemed pretty confusing for me though, to be honest with you. Reading on that, trying to figure out what was what, it just seemed so confusing to try to get a parts list together and to try to scrounge up for those parts. However, in the future, I would definitely think about that upgrade. Now, I don't track this car or anything. It's literally just street driven, but big brakes never hurt. As fast as this car is, being able to stop just as fast would be really nice to be able to do. I think I'm free. Found that the easiest way for me to get these off is to cut off the lip on the one side. Almost completely, like so. And then pull them out. Trash. Might be time to change my razor. And then in order to get the new ones in, I push them in from the back. Or so I say. A little bit of lube that was supplied with the brake kit, powerstop ceramic silicone brake component lubricant, and they actually slide right in. Like I said, or so I say. Let's see you prove they slide right in, Tim. Yep, liar. Bold-faced lie. Some lube on the back of these pads, slide them in here, slide it out. Oh my gosh, I still haven't even changed the rotor. Guys, I am getting sidetracked. Oh my goodness. Alright. Yeah, so I'm not sure what happened there. I was getting a little bit out of order. I thought I was ready for pads and caliper replacement. And here I am, I haven't even got the rotor replaced yet. Here you go, working on this car. I tend to show off a lot of knee while working on this car. Lots of knee. Gonna give her a few love taps. Just two. Two's all it took. This is the last wheel I gotta do, and I really feel like it's fighting me. Maybe it's not actually personal. I don't know. It's just how I feel. Put that on the impact and give her just a quick. She looks good to me, and again we got the vents going towards the rear. It's labeled front passenger side. Alright, I think we're finally getting to that point. Let's not forget our new caps for the dust boots, or whatever we're going to call those old parts. Well, at least one of these should be really clean. There we go. Or, actually, I think, yeah, about that. Alright. Bam. Alright, everything's back on nice and tight. Still a spring clip right here. Holds it. It's a really good little floating assembly, actually. Kinda surprised. When you don't have to replace the wear sensor, this is actually a pretty straightforward brake job. This piston here just squeezes in, you know, old C-clamp style. The pistons on the rear caliper, though, those actually have to be spun. You can get a proper tool for it. I was lucky enough to be able to use a pair of these, put it in the center of that, and I was able to turn. It's like 3 little offset things, probably, you know, what, 100, not 180, 120 degrees off. 360 divided by 3, 120 off. And I was able to grab like 2 at a time and spin it. And that helped me spin those all the way, and you gotta spin them clockwise and kind of push in as you're spinning, and you can reseat the pistons for the rear caliper. Oh, my knees on the concrete feel so good. Sarcasm, it does not feel good at all. I like to get all these started by hand. And then I'll take the drill. All right. I believe that is brake job complete. I will jack up the rear of the car and, like I said, give you a quick once over on how the rear wire went through the frame rail, through just all kinds of insanity. Thanks for watching. Okay, so Again, electronic wear sensor goes up, hooks onto the back of here. That's the wire harness and everything, and the assembly for the electronic parking brake. Let me try to figure out this shadow game, how this works. So there's clip 1. Wow, this is incredibly difficult. Clip 2, clip 3, and we're gonna wind back around here, and then we can see it going here through the frame rail. Literally goes right through. Well, maybe a control arm? Yeah, maybe that's just a rear control arm, actually. It doesn't matter. It goes through it, okay? Goes through it. Change positions here. Go from top to bottom. And it comes out the bottom here. And now it's got a little accomplice wire that's attached to the shock back here. And it goes into here. There's a compartment here. And if you look way up in there, you can see let's see here. That black box right there. It's tucked way inside of here. The 2 little clips on the right there close that box and seal the connector. So the easiest way to access that box, that is literally behind that fender there, the rocker panel, it's about right here. It's located about right here. So rather than removing all of this, which I'm sure you don't have to, that'd be absolutely insane, something an awesome Ford engineer would think up. But you can remove, let's see if that works. You can remove this screw. It's a 5mm, or I'm sorry, 8mm or 5/16, also 5mm or 8/16. And then there's a 10mm located right up there. That plastic, black plastic. You can actually just loosen that one up with a 10mm. And once you do that, this whole panel here will actually come off and give you much greater access to that area. That's how I did it. Worked pretty well for me. Just took me quite a bit longer than I would have liked to figure that out. So, and then once I did that, I had to route that cable all the way back through every little clip there, through the frame rail, chase it up through. Well, again, maybe control arm. I keep calling it frame rail, but it's a unibody car. Super stiff though. I have the front tire is off the ground. If you can see that, the front tire is literally, there's daylight under that front tire, and I only have this tire one at the rear end, 1 inch off of the ground, so I could remove it. And the front tire is not touching the ground. This car is incredibly stiff. It's a race car. it's a damn rocket, honestly. At any rate, that's a full brake job. Disc, rotors, new pads all the way around. Powerstop Z26. I said that like I'm thinking that. But yeah, Z26 for the BMW Z4 35i. The 35iS actually has larger brakes than the 35i. The 35iS has larger brakes than the 35i. Hey look, a tree trimming truck while I'm trying to film. That probably wasn't loud. So yeah, we'll keep looking and seeing what kind of enough projects we can come up with. I believe that I may upgrade to these stainless steel braided lines, brake hoses anyways. I hear that can make a dramatic difference just as how stiff the pedal is, and obviously, I mean, it makes sense. Rubber will flex and expand where stainless steel will not, so obviously you get a much firmer pedal. Yeah. Perfect. Thank you for watching. Think about liking and subscribing. I will always be doing small projects like this, just staying busy.